They claiming we got a slow connection. They claiming that we got a slow connection. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I welcome you. I welcome you, man. We tell in this hell, man, the real. And what we're going to talk about today is this birth certificate fraud, man. The clause rebus six stantibus.
Birth certificate fraud, clause rebus sextantibus, by you. Attention, lawyer, judge, government agent, employee, police, common man, etc. et al., any all who serve as a fictional legal name, title, it, entity, pronounced phonetically, example, leg, all, enemy, name, me, kit, L, Luciferian, character in the legal world, reality, author's note, where the author is defined as anyone who uses these words, where truth cannot be copyrighted, merely shared by agreement in these words as theirs, regardless of who wrote the words of an issue, where truth belongs to all in conceptual, heart and mind, written, causal, not the physical written form. Effect where this writing is written, spelled out in a language understandable to both those in and out of the legal name fraud, profession, reality, where the common understanding of this fraud and crime against humanity and creation is visible both in layman's and legal terms, not to be confused by the intent of the reader, where the author, which is therein, intentions are crystal clear, i.e., legal word world wranglers and twisters of hearings were spelled forth hearing with all potential of phonics deception hereby and therefore removed ad infinitum.
Peace, love, and happiness. What up, though? Peace, love, and happiness. Y'all listening to a video. We talking about the birth certificate fraud. If y'all didn't know, so come and learn, be taught on this great big fraud. Salute. I'm gonna start it over, King, because I want everybody to listen to this, man. What up, though, Cardi Door? Peace and blessings. I don't know if y'all know about clause rebus six stantibus. Abbreviated BCCRSS, which is the birth certificate fraud. I want everybody, I'm just going to just allow y'all to listen to it. So I'm just here to add commentary every now and then. But I want everybody to tune in. This is very important. This is very deep. Once again, y'all are with me, Retail Inhale, with your wonderful consular chief, Gabriel Good God, using Adam Angel's page. And we're talking about the birth certificate fraud. Clausa rebus six stantibus. I want everybody just to listen. Thank you for your time and attention.
Birth certificate fraud, clause rebus sextantibus, by you. Attention, lawyer, judge, government agent, employee, police, common man, etc. et al., any all who serve as a fictional legal name, title, it, entity, pronounced phonetically, example, leg, all, enemy, name, me, kit, L, Luciferian, character in the legal world, reality, author's note, where the author is defined as anyone who uses these words, where truth cannot be copyrighted, merely shared by agreement in these words as theirs, regardless of who wrote the words of an issue, where truth belongs to all in conceptual, heart and mind, written, causal, not the physical written form. Effect where this writing is written, spelled out in a language understandable to both those in and out of the legal name fraud, profession, reality, where the common understanding of this fraud and crime against humanity and creation is visible both in layman's and legal terms, not to be confused by the intent of the reader, where the author, which is therein, intentions are crystal clear, i.e., legal word world wranglers and twisters of hearings were spelled forth hearing with all the member, general public, any all legal name users without bar affiliations, permissions, only to be respelled differently by any all bar members under assumption and presumption to corrupt the original intent. So speaking versus spelling it out. And why a fraudulent by deliberate design legal name non-bar member has no voice in the legal dead reality. In other words, one's words spoken cannot be altered from the speaker's original true intent as to what they mean versus what the one hearing the spoken form of the words hears, and then
Corrupts them.
their spoken words by using alternative spells under assumption and presumption of the same sound from homonyms with completely different definitions, using the spelling trickery to undo them and gain the honor advantage where no honor in them exists. And the non-bar member is rendered in the state of perpetual dishonor unknowingly, i.e. twist them, the non-bar member speaking their spoken words spoken backwards or around, opposes, negates, corrupts the speaker's original intent to initiate and perpetrate, instigate fraud against them, to enable imaginary crimes, to profit from statutory, commercial, rape, kidnapping, etc. at all. That's why corporate proceedings are called hearings, or spellings is a more precise term for what is really going on. Thus, this is spelling it out clearly where assumption is rendered null and void. Any and all use claiming to be a legal name entity has everyone in the original sin signed state of fraud in the creation of continued use of legal name that appears in every birth certificate until they remove themselves from the criminal legal reality where anyone involved in the enforcement of this fraud using violence, trickery, coercion, etc. at all to ensnare the intention to enslave another is, in fact, aiding and abetting a criminal act by forcing another into submission to its use where this truth has been exposed or is believed to use any all legal names type of shit. A typical courtroom drama example. Unwitting legal name defense. I do not consent, spoken with the intent of no to consent, intended, where the bar member, aka judge, lawyer, cop, etc., can and will assume, presume, in full honor the words phonetically as to how they want to hear it, and has respelled that verbal or forbale, I not consent. Where I means yes, whatever, and tacit agreement instantly. Due, as in debt, tacit agreement, not, and tie, and bound, bond, tacit agreement, slavery, and con means both with and for, and equally.
I want to just stop there. I don't know if y'all fully understand or hear what's being said because of the quality of the recording. But I'm going to read it because I have it in front of me. So it says, a typical courtroom drama example: an unwitting legal name, meaning all capitals. Defendant. Now they spelled it deafened, like your mind is deaf. And int is mine. And you say you, the defendant, or the mind that has been made deaf. I do not. You can come on record and say, I do not consent. Now, this is a typical courtroom drama. You can come on record and say, I do not consent to whatever's going on. You could speak that with the intent of no wish to consent. Now, intended, where the bar member, also known as the judge, the lawyers, the cops, the court reporters, etc., etc., they can and will, remember the Miranda laws, anything you say can and will used, not for you, but against you. So they can and will, and since the law system, our law system, my people, I'm learning stuff and I want to make you aware. When you talking to any officials or any of these legal fictions, because they all caps. They transformed us into all caps too. That's why I say we all capping. I'm not just rapping. I'm telling you what's happening. They can and will assume assume / presume in full. And then they use phonetics, the science phonetics, sound value. So since it sounds like fool, full and fool, they assume that. So they're assuming, presuming fool / fool honor the words phonetically, what you said, as to how they want to hear it. They take what we say and they hear it how they want to, changing the intent of what we say to have a whole different meaning. And has respelled that verbal, what you said, what we say verbally, / for ball, verbal, for ball. You know, that ancient Babylonian god of, or I say pagan god, just for it to be simple, pagan god. And they respell it out in their minds, according to the science of, what is that, legalese. It's a new language they use, legalese. And they hear it as a do not consent. And a, which means yes, AYE means yes. Affirmative and tacit agreement instantly. So you saying yes, you agreeing off the rip. Two can't walk unless they agree. So they coerce us, but then they use trick knowledge or tricknology, and they twist our words to get that agreement. And then do, they spell it DUE, as in debt tacit agreement. So you agree to obligating yourself to a debt. So, quote unquote, the quote unquote charge. So you agree to the charge now. They say yes, A, because I can sound like A, not, and then KNOT. You said NOT, but they heard it KNOT, as in tied and bound or bound, tacit agreement. This is another agreement to slavery, because you binding yourself. This is a knot. You're binding yourself. And con means both with / for and against / without equally as a prefix. Also means thief or criminal in common vernacular terms, etc. So we agreeing that we're a thief, or that we're a criminal, that we've done something criminal. And say is Latin for himself or herself, itself, which is the entire essence of the speaker involved. And ent is a suffix meaning mine. ENT is a suffix meaning mine, etymologically, In short, the ones perpetrating and profiting from this legal name fraud, all capitals, deception, can hear whatever they choose to hear, /HERE, right now, in the present sense, and can will in full honor respell every word that we utter at every hearing, because it wasn't spelled out by the speaker in writing, where it can be respelled by the bar member's criminal intentions to incriminate all innocent and guilty individuals equally, thus painting all humanity with the same criminal brush they've been painted with and simply passing the buck to make a buck. I've witnessed this with my own eyes. I'm a part of the system. I did 18 years for a crime I did not commit. I mean, that's inconsequential. It's just the fact that they passed the buck to make a buck off of me. And they're doing this. They're doing this. Now, two wrongs don't make no rights. I'm not negating that. But what I am saying that if it starts off wrong, then it's going to end off wrong. So everything here, the word says, not me, but Jah says, and he's here. I'm not my own. I'm not saying this of my own accord. I'm not my own. I've been bought at a price, literally. All that I have, all that I am, all that I deliver, all I distribute, all that I have given, ever given, belong to Jah. I'm just a resource. I'm here to return you back to the source. I know the source. I'm intimate with the source. I'm not my own. I was born here, Charles Lowe. The God that sitteth high, he came down low. And he spoke to man. How we know that? Because Charles means man. He's speaking to me for me to speak to you all. I'm not my own. Yo, what did up do, me family? Latosha Swan, peace and blessings. Much love unto you, man. Me thank you for joining, man. I got something really deep that I've been discovering about the system of things that's in harmony with the living word of God, the Bible. The basic instruction before we leave this earthbound mentality. We got to leave the earth. We got to leave this earthbound mentality. What's up, God? Peace and blessings. Long time no see. I pray everything is good with you, man. I'm breaking this thing down about the birth certificate. And you a woman. I really love to have my females here. I'm reading about the birth certificate fraud, man. It's something that's called the clausa rebus sic stantibus. Yeah, man. Much love to you too, man. Much love, man. Blessings and congratulations, to Charles, man, the one that carries the name that I have. Yeah, man. Blessings, man. I'm seeing the beauty, the work that's being done in that soul. So, and I appreciate it. But I'm gonna push play and let it get down. I was breaking some things down, man. But y'all definitely need to check this out from the beginning. Y'all gotta check this out from the beginning, man. I'm telling you, man. But I'm gonna let it play. Can you let it play? I'm gonna bag it up just a little bit.
Of the cross or the invitation of Colossians, read the 6
Oh, you welcome. Praise Jah.
Whereas fundamental change of circumstances now reset in pure speech, the rule of liberal expressionist, beetle use. It is my desire as willful wish to settle this matter, fiat justitia, ruat eum, denique ultimatum reverio vero. A fraud reveals null and void, non proton ab initio ad infinitum. Whereas my star contract, long-form birth certificate, is in custody with the Registrar General and given under seal at the General Register Office, Belfast, Northern Ireland, as claimed on the certified copy. My original copy has now been deposited in the lawful repository, namely the King's Exchequer of Westminster, as commanded by Richard I. It is my rightful duty to inform all parties, tyrants, who have laid fraudulent claims. I'm going to bag it up a little bit. I'm going to bag it up a little bit because you're here. I want you to hear this. But the invocation of the cross or the invocation of Clausula Rebus 6 Stantibus. To rid of covenant, rid of deceit, rid of inquiry. Whereas fundamental change of circumstances now reset in pure speech, the rule of liberal constructionist, beetle use. is my desire to live the
Oh, I went to the wrong one. Let me go this way. That's right. Okay, here it is.
They want to hear it, and that's what.
All right, let me back it up. There we go. We there now. You know, I had a little technical difficulties, but I really want y'all to hear this, man. This is dealing with the birth certificate fraud, man. This stuff is mind-blowing, man. I don't mind starting over. I really don't, man. I'm here. Let me know if y'all can hear it clearly when it come on. And that's the only thing, and I'm not going to talk. I will stop the video from time to time to give clarity.
Birth certificate fraud, clause de rebus extensibus, by you. Attention, lawyer, judge, government agent, employee, police, common man, etc. et al., any all who serve as a fictional legal name, title is entity, pronounced phonetically, example, leg, all, enemy, name, NM, me, tip L, Luciferian, character in the legal world, reality. Author's note, where the author is defined as anyone who uses these words, where truth cannot be copyrighted, merely shared by agreement, these words are theirs, regardless of who wrote the words ab initio, where truth belongs to all in conceptual, heart and mind, written, causal, not the physical written form. Effect where this writing is written, spelled out in language understandable to both those in and out of the legal name fraud, profession, reality, where the common understanding of this fraud and crime against humanity and creation is visible both in layman's and legal terms, not to be confused by the intent of the reader, where the author thereof therein, intentions are crystal clear, i.e., legal word world wranglers and twisters of hearings were to spell forth herein with all potential of phonics deception, hereby and therefore removed ad infinitum. For example, a phonics deception is where one thing is spoken by on-bar member, general public, and all legal name users without bar affiliations, permissions, only to be respelled differently by any all bar members under assumption and presumption to corrupt the original intent. Though speaking versus spelling it out, and why a fraudulent by deliberate design legal name non-bar member has no voice in the legal dead reality. In other words, one's words spoken cannot be altered in the speaker's original true intent as to what they mean versus what the one hearing the spoken form of the words hears. And that. Okay,
I'm going to break that down. I want to make some clear. Did y'all hear that? Was y'all able to hear that? Now, he gave an example of a phonics deception. The word says, the Bible says, Satan deceived the whole world. I want y'all to be clear here. Satan deceived the whole damn world. That's you, me, and everyone. Everyone you know and everyone you knew. I'm just pausing for effect. Want you to think about that. So, for example, a phonics deception is where one thing is spoken by a non-bar member. We're not members of their little private clubs. It's gangs and clubs and exclusivity going on around here. And we not involved. The mass majority. General public. They letting you know what they mean. General public, any and all legal name users without bar affiliation or affiliations, permission or permissions. Now, only to be respelled differently by any and all bar members under assumption and presumption. Stop. You got to know that in this world that we've been born in, this world is a world of sin. It's evil. The word says we all fail short of the glory of Jah, and the wages of sin is death, and that we were shaped in iniquity, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. So we was born into this world and we were shaped by the powers that be, the institutions of this world, to be iniquitous, to be rebellious to our very divine nature, to the nature of God, to the will of God, to the word of God. I'm going to show this. I'm going to prove this. This is my case that I'm bringing against the state of Michigan. I'm going to have my day in court. I go to court August the 27th for their violation of my right to liberty, to my life, and to the pursuit of happiness. That's within our Declaration of Independence. We declare ourselves independent of any external power other than God and the laws of nature. And those laws or governments or states or entities at all, we can only come subject to their laws when we commit a crime. And a crime is when we harm another or damage someone's property. Other than that, we operate in the private. That's why there's no invasion of our privacy. Things I did not really know, I didn't take into consideration until I came up under this law. Now, I'm one that did 18 years for a crime I did not commit. And I'm learning now where they railroad me. Yeah, man, this is, but it's deeper than the parents, though. The parents are not at fault. We go deeper. I'm going this far as we listen to this, I'm breaking this down for you. Because if you take out your ID, if you pull out any of your paperwork that you've gotten from any institution, from your bill collectors, notice how they spell your name. Your name is in all caps. So you capping. I'm capping. We all capping. But I want to let you know what's really happening, why they have done that, and what has been done to you. Do you know you have been turned into a corporation? That is not you. You're not liable for that. You are a living and breathing soul, an entity. You know that. But yet we answer for that straw man, that legal fiction, that legal name. We're learning something. And it all derived from the birth certificate. Our mothers were ignorant. Our fathers were ignorant. The word says, forgive them, Father. Jah has forgiven us all. Forgive them, for they know not what they have done, what they are doing, and some will continue to do even after this video, because it's going to be a long video. I'm going to play this out. I'm just stopping intermittently to break down some things, to get some clarity. But y'all should go over and watch the video yourself. And some of y'all, I sent this information to y'all. I sent it to y'all. And if y'all want to, you will inquire about the video, where I got this information, I will send you the link. I have no problem. I want to wake you up for the intent and purpose. You know what? The word says seek ye first, people. Seek ye first. That's our priority. We got it all twisted. They got us distracted. They got us distracted, man. And I can't stand by and allow it to be, because I love, and I love actually, and it's impossible, but I've shown it in some senses. So the Spirit has provided a miracle to take place for my own eyes, that I'm learning to have love for myself, but I didn't have love for myself. But I was born to love you all, because I'm not my own. I was bought at a price. Literally, Christ is here. And let those that got ears, let them hear. And let those that got eyes, let them see. It's real. I'm an angel. He found the angel in me. We all are fallen angels, meaning that we are demons. And we've been casted as hell. This is hell, y'all. The Spirit gave me the revelation to entitle these shows, We Tell in This Hell the Real. The word said we fell short. Where did we fall from? We fell from heaven. So seek ye first. God gave it to us and put it in our hearts and our souls to yearn for closeness, with intimacy with Him. And heaven is wherever He is. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and His righteousness, not our own righteousness, not your own righteousness. The word talks about it. It said, His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto us. I'm starting to see the light. The light is coming to my mind. I'm talking about clarity. There's a movement going on. A lot of us don't even know and been aware. And I want to put us in line with this movement, because we need the masses to move in this way, so it'll bring about a change. It's things happening that we're not even aware of, man. The world court is in session against a lot of the world leaders right now for this child trafficking shit. Real talk. A lot of your celebrities are being indicted. They smoke screening it. But if you dig deep enough, you can find it out. When that dude went down, Epstein, when that dude went down, he took a whole lot with him. Oh, they issue out there. I'm just letting y'all know, man. If you didn't know, they got you distracted with all this other shit, man. I gotta calm down, cause the truth will make you mad. Ye should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. But first, it's gonna make you mad, man. Cause it's gonna set you free from your fear. Cause we fear the powers that be. I'm just telling you the truth. Yes, and rightly so. You're in a mortal body. They can lock you up. They can kill your mortal body. Killing your mortal body through drugs, through the food. Notice, the Food and Drug Administration. We've been under the spirit of stupor. We've been under the spirit of stupid. The food and how you going to put them two together? And it's a conjunction. How you bringing them two together? Where's the, is food a drug? You need to ask yourself question. I'm saying, but this is in hell, man. I mean, what do we expect really though? In hell. That's why I said seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Because when you wake up to where the hell you are, where we are, then you gonna want to change. You gonna want a change. And who gonna have to change? You. Guess how we know how we do that? How do we accomplish that? We're gonna have to get with that man in the mirror. We're gonna have to get that woman in the mirror. We're gonna have to get with that child in the mirror. I ain't separated to none of us. No real shit, love. You know, real shit, no. I mean, because somebody. Don't exclude your body. But if we keep going in the same direction, which is the wide road that leadeth to hell, the self-destruction, and that's what we're deceiving ourselves. We're destroying ourselves. But we've been set on that course. A body will remain in motion unless it's impacted upon by another force. I'm standing in, God has allowed me to stand in harm's way. I'm built for it. And I'm standing. I've done all I know to do. I'm done running. I'm done playing the games. I'm done. I got to purify myself. I got to stand. I got to put my blinders on. I gotta be the David. I gotta let the David in me rise that a lot of y'all met and knew. Y'all know me. A lot of y'all know me not for the being that my mother named, but God had called me from my mother's womb. He prepared me for my mother's womb to be the one that would be a part of the tree, to be a part. I didn't choose myself. There's no way I could do this. No way I could speak this way. This accent, this is a spirit here, man. This is showing and signifying, and it's not always with me. So, yes, y'all have heard me speak like Charles. But I'm not under no control of it. I'm not conscious of it all the time. Sometimes I hear myself. I love the closeness with the spirit. This is what it speaks for me. It's personal. That's for me. It ain't for nobody else. But it reveals something to me because I had to be convinced. I had to go through. Still going through. Because of hard-headedness. Because of disobedience. Because of rebelling against the will, the word, the way of God. I mean, that's straight, flat like that, man. Flesh is evil and wicked. I've fallen in a lot of senses from the places that I was sitting in. Because I was called to heavenly places. I still have that option open for me, man. But his will had to be accomplished. He had to show me, but then he had to show you y'all. And he had to convince me. I had to be convinced, man. We are hard-headed people, man. We stubborn, man. Shit happening around us. We feel it, we see it, and then we go back to sleep. We the disciples, man. But we need to discipline ourselves, man. I'm telling you, and I'm going to discipline us according. I ain't got nothing but time. So y'all can come back. I'm going to do this until I finish, and this is going to be a long time, man. So I don't expect everybody to be here. They showing me that I got a low signal, slow connection or something like that, and that's crap. I got high supposed to have high speed, but it's they fighting this. Satan is the god of the air. Air is how we receive the broadcast, how we receive these signals. So Satan is God, the word, and I'm speaking the word, the Bible, the basic instruction before leaving earth. I'm not speaking my own thing. I'm here to make that. He said, in all of your getting, and all of our getting, my getting, get some understanding, get some clarity, get clear here. My home is a clearing house. This is the clearing house. We get clear here. So if you HERE here in this now, because that's all we ever known, that's all that ever will be is now. And right now. You are here to HEAR here with your EAR ear. What thus saith the Lord. And I am the angel of the Lord's presence. If I'm here, Gabriel, in the twinkling of an eye, you see the name Adam. Charles. Charles means man. Okay. Generically, Adam is man. And then let's go to Adam. So let's go to the word. The word says, male and female created he them and called their name what? Who? Adam. Look it up. I can't make this up. So I'm the Adam. I'm the male, female in the equation, speaking, having the capability, the capacity to speak to both sides. Oh yeah. Let me. I gotta get naked, because naked through the gate we must all come. We gotta divest ourselves of ourselves. The word says, "Deny yourself, pick up your cross, and follow me." I'm freeing myself. I gotta free myself. I got to free myself. I've been in bondage for too long, and I'm tired. And I'm sick or tired of being sick or tired of my own shit. So I got to come to terms. I got to come to myself. This is where I'm at. I'm addressing me when I'm addressing y'all, man. I see my face there. So I'm talking this to me, man. Salvation is personal. And you all must work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man, because this is something to fear, man. This is of great concern to all. Because I don't see no colors here, man, when I'm reading this. I'm speaking this to everyone. You pull out your information and tell me if it's what I say. Don't take my fucking word for it. Because what I'm telling you, man, you can validate it your own self. You can look it up like I have looked it up. Like it come to me, they hide it in the book. In the books. We have to illuminate our minds. We have to awaken our own minds. I told you, I'm telling you, salvation is personal. You have to take it into your own hands. Look, man, be not conformed. The word, I'm speaking the word to you all. Be not conformed to this world. The order of things. The order of things. Because the way of the order of this world has been evil against us, the people. It has been profiting off of us. in treasonous ways. I'm speaking in that way. What has been done is treasonous. But I'm not mine. Not anymore, because I've gotten behind. I'm getting over myself. I'm getting over myself because I realize I have to forgive myself. I didn't know that I didn't know. Just like you didn't know that you didn't know. Don't act like you know. This is the time to grow. We all been slow, dim-witted. Because somebody done bullshitted. Not just me, but us. And now in God, we got to totally trust. Because it ain't no trust in us. I'm speaking flesh, because we ain't passed the test. Because if we avoid this learning, we're going to keep on experiencing this burning in the form of shame and sometimes physical pain. I'm just here to make it plain. Allow me to break it down and explain. I'm speaking to Joe and Jane. I'm not representing the GI, for you don't need an ID to identify we, because the scriptures said of we, God's we be. Look in the word and you will see Psalms 82, Psalm 86, verse 2. When you read that verse, it should become apparent and clear to you. I thank you all for the views. I please advise of y'all to share. Many are called, but you that are here are the chosen few. So what are you called to do? Thank you. I'm truly indebted to all y'all. So let me get back. I don't want to get off track, but I need us to connect. This is about connection. Charles Lowe has been brought low. I've been brought low. So that you all know I'm on the equal plane. We the same. I'm trying to let y'all know that it ain't more time for playing, parlaying. Because while we've been delaying, the devil, the demons have been slaying us and our children. Why? Because we ain't building. We too busy surviving. We ain't even took a thought about being alive, Jack. These are the facts. In a few minutes, I'm going to rewind that. But I'm going to finish this here. Make the point very clear. For example, a phonics deception is where one thing is spoken by the general public, a non-bar member, any and all legal name users without bar affiliations or permissions, only to be respelled differently by any and all bar members, under assumption and presumption. This is how this world operates, under assumption and presumption. They assume shit and they presume shit. Letting you know that whatever you say, the power is in the written word. in the spelling. Because they casting spells where you got to have God's spell. So I'm giving you God's word, his truth. Okay? Under assumption and presumption to corrupt. Their intent is only to corrupt our original intent in whatever we say. Of the one speaking versus spelling it out. Spelling it out. Spells. They're casting spells. And by a fraudulent, by deliberate design, legal name, non-bar member, general public, that's you, that's us, has no voice in the legal dead reality. In other words, one's words, our words, spoken cannot be altered from the speaker's original true intent as to what they mean versus what the one's hearing. Notice they call us into hearings. They want to hear us speak these words so they can use them against us. Can and would be used against you. Miranda. The spoken form of the words hears and then corrupts them and their spoken words by using alternative spellings under assumption and presumption of the same sound. They taught us the same sound homonyms with completely different definitions. Using this spelling trickery, I like to call it tricknology, to undo them, to undo the original intent of what we sent and gain the honor advantage where no honor in them exists and the non-bar member is rendered in a state of perpetual dishonor. They put us in dishonor unknowingly. They put us in a state of, we go into a state of perpetual dishonor unknowingly. That is, or i.e., twist our words, the non-bar member, general public, us, speaking their spoken words, spoken backwards, around, opposes, negates, corrupts the speaker's original intent to initiate and perpetuate, and instigate fraud. What up, though, Gary Booth? Fraud against them to enable imaginary crimes to profit from statutory, commercial, rape, kidnapping, etc. at all. Thus, why court proceedings sound like seedings, are called hearings, where spellings is a more precise term for what is really going on. Okay? So, I'm going to get back to the video. I pray that one's listening, holding the place, because it'll take way too longer for me to read, and just giving some clarity on that. I pray that that was clear enough there.
Their spoken words by using alternative spelling under assumption and presumption of the same sound homonyms with completely different definitions, using the spelling trickery to undo them and gain the honor advantage where no honor in them exists. And the non-bar member is rendered in a state of perpetual dishonor unknowingly, i.e., twist them, the non-bar member speaks their spoken words, spoken backwards, around, opposes, negates, corrupts the speaker's original intent to initiate and perpetrate, instigate fraud against them, to enable imaginary crimes, to profit from statutory, commercial, rape, kidnapping, etc. at all. That's why corporate proceedings are called hearings, where spelling is the more precise term for what is really going on. Thus, this is spelling it out clearly where something is rendered null and void. For any and all youth claiming to be a legal name entity has everyone in the original sin signed state of will assume, presume, and full honor the words phonetically as to how they want to hear it, and that's spelled that verbal or formal I consent. Where I means the affirmative and tacit agreement instantly. You, as in debt, tacit agreement, not, and tie is bound, bond, tacit agreement, slavery, and con means both with and for, and against the fact. Equally, totally opposite. Means the same, equally negative as positive as a prefix. Also means thief or criminal in common vernacular terms, etc. Say is Latin for himself or himself, which is the entire essence of the speaker involved, and hence is the suffix meaning mind, etymologically. In short, the ones perpetuating and profiting from this legal name fraud deception can hear whatever they do hear, and can, will, in full honor, spell every word uttered at every hearing because it wasn't spelled out by the speaker in writing. Where it can be respelled a bar member's criminal intentions to invade all innocent and guilty individuals equally, thus painting argument.
I want to make that clear. I think that example need to make clear because, excuse me, forgive me for the quality of the recording. But the information, if you want to inquire of the source, you can ask me, DM me, and I will provide the link. But I'm going to read because I have it in front of me because I know this information is of vital importance. It connects with who we are spiritually, who we call to be, all of us. Now, a typical courtroom drama example is unwittingly, I told you the legal name, the all capital name, that's us, the general public. Now, we hear the word defendant. Now, he has done, by the same science they use, phonetics, defendant. Like your mind been made deaf. And then ENT is a suffix meaning mind. So the mind made deaf says, on record, I do not consent. That's what you say. That's what you say. But they hear it and they corrupt the intent of what you mean. Now check it out. With the intent of no wish to consent. That's what be your wish. That's what our wish be. That would be my wish. That what I would, assume. Assumption and presumption. Intended where the bar member, also known as the judge, the lawyer, the cop, etc., can and will assume/presume in full/full honor the words phonetically as to how they want to hear it and has respected the verbal/forbal BAAL for their Lord, Satan. And they open about it. So they respell it or hear it in their ears as I, which is AYE. That's I. Do, DUE, not, KNOT, and then consent. That's how they see it. Where A means yes, which means an affirmative and tacit agreement instantly. Do, as in depth tacit agreement, another agreement. Not, as in tied and bound, tacit agreement to slavery. And then con means both with, for, means both with/for and against / without equally as a prefix, and also means thief or criminal in a common vernacular terms, etc. Now, se is Latin for him or herself or itself, which is the entire essence of the speaker involved. And ent is a suffix meaning mind, which we already said is meaning mind etymologically. Okay? So now, in short, the ones perpetrating and profiting from this legal name fraud, all the way up to the birth certificate. That's when they turned us into the all capital legal fiction. Deception. And I told you Satan deceived the whole world. He began right there with your birth. You was born in sin. Can hear whatever they choose to hear, H-E-A-R, hear, E-A-R, ear, with their ear, and H-E-R-E / and can / will in full honor respell every word uttered at every hearing, because they're there to hear what you say. Anything you say can and will. Because it wasn't spelled out by the speaker in writing. Oh, the pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. They're letting you know that he gave you code. That was code. He told us, he dropped it in, and a lot of it, I didn't catch it. I'm catching it right here now. The Spirit told me the pen is mightier than the sword. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with me, and the Word was me. But it wasn't spelled out by the speaker in writing, where it can be respelled by the bar members' criminal intentions to incriminate all innocent and guilty individuals equally, thus painting all humanity with the same criminal brush they've been painted with, and simply passing the buck to make a buck of sin, which is sign / to another, rewriting by respelling the speaker's words against them to create the bar member or servant by oath advantage every time in every legal reality situation. It's done over and over and over and over and over again. This deception, ruse, criminal enterprise is now over, where truth itself is all the vengeance one needs in a white flag state of truth, not surrender stance, and where all criminals perpetrating this crime against humanity are now fully exposed for all to see. It is illegal to use a legal name, is a legal fact. And that's where clausa, rebus, sic stantibus, as it pertains to birth certificates, any and all contracts, treaties, hereafter shown spelled as CRSS, or in full, commonly referred to as the escape clause. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. We shall escape, be set free. So I'm going to go back to letting it do what it do by reading it.
With the same criminal brush that they've been painted with. Instead, we pass buck, make buck, or sign to another, rewriting by respelling the speaker's words against them to create the barman servant by oath advantage every time. Have legal reactivation. This deception, ruse, criminal enterprise is over, where truth tells is all the vengeance one needs in a white flag state of truth, not surrender, stance, and where all criminals perpetuating this crime are not exposed for all to see. Legal to use a legal name, a legal fact. Clause Rebus Sextanima, as it pertains to certificates, any all contracts, treaties, hereafter shown spelled as CRSS or in full, commonly referred to as the escape clause. In legal public international law, Clause Rebus Sextantibus, Latin all time periods relating to the contract's existence in the first place because of a fundamental change of circumstances, whereas it's illegal to use a legal name, birth certificate, name, title, where the intent to create a fraudulent third party is evidenced in any all birth certificates by the very existence of the birth certificate as self-evident. Cross is essentially a fundamental purpose as an escape clause that makes an exception to the general rule of pacta sunt servanda, promises must be kept, thus removing all previous assumptions and or presumptions of any all parties, legal and or otherwise. To the contrary, where this fraud is good. Because the doctrine poses a risk to the securities aka money, of treaty contracts with those profiting from this by design fraud, by posing this intent to commit fraud, and those perpetuating it as its scope is relatively and completely unconfined without borders. It requires strict legal regulations as to the conditions in which it may be invoked, where only those claiming to be legal entities within the legal reality confines are concerned. Where one is no longer deemed a legal entity, thereafter, since this is the last legal act in the common sense of the definition of one who was formerly deceived by the legal name birth certificate fraud, where it is now known to be fraud, and where were the one invoking this clause no longer wish to commit legal name fraud, any crimes against another whatsoever, while removing all traces of the former entity from theirs and everyone else's reality, regardless of the aiding and abetting attempts of, by, for, in fraud by various Crown Corporation agents to elicit, force, demand, coerce, etc., et al., anyone, all who have stated and shown otherwise. The doctrine is part of customary international law, but it's also provided for in the 1969 Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties under Article 62. Fundamental change of circumstance, although the doctrine is never mentioned by name. Article 62 provides the only two justifications of the invocation of Rebus Sextantibus. First, that the circumstances existing at the time of the conclusion of the treaty were indeed objectively essential to the obligations of the treaty, subparagraph A, and the instance wherein the change of circumstances has had a radical effect on the obligations of the treaty, subparagraph B. In short, the intent to commit aid and abet fraud falls squarely on those perpetuating this legal name birth certificate fraud, typically anywhere anyone is being forced to enlist, impressed into service unwillingly and knowingly, their child through registrations of any all forms ab initio until dissolved, or remains intact willingly by any all who continue to be guilty in their own fraud by willfully using any all legal name titles after the fact, where fraud absolutely is self-evident, where this birth certificate fraud is in plain view. If the parties to a treaty contract have previously currently contemplated known all facts regarding the treaty contract based on full and open disclosure from all parties involved in the birth certificate BC contract, for the occurrence of the changed circumstance, doctrine does not apply, and the provision remains in effect even though the full disclosure of the fraudulent intent of the birth certificate is a legal fact and is fully exposed to no legal fact within the confines of the fictional legal reality, whereas those continuing to use said treaty contract birth certificate legal name entity render this escape clause null and void, bind up their own hands, and doing for willfully, knowingly continuing in its use after the fact, i.e. contempt of court, profiting from the avails of crime, etc. Clause Rebus Sextantibus only relates to changed circumstances that were never contemplated by one or more of the parties, since one or more of the parties involved to initiate force and forced fraud after the fact. Such contracts, treaties, is knowingly, unknowingly, ignorance is no offense, by, of, or in omitting, committing fraud with intent, regardless of claims made otherwise, by any all who are legally dead, fixed entities, bar members, crowns, agents, and all, using this fraud to steal the life source of another in any way, shape, or form. Although it is clear that a fundamental change of circumstances justifies terminating or modifying the treaty contract, i.e. the birth certificate contract is deliberately set up to deceive the gamete interlocutor transferring party, male, female creators of physical child, children, intellectual, spiritual names, with intent to transfer the living child, children, gamete interlocutor, into a dead legal name, war of admiralty state, placing all contracting parties in a state of fraud absolute. Collectively, the unilateral denunciation of a treaty is prohibited to any all legal name fraud participants, i.e. legal participants without bar Crown Corporation member permission, where the Crown Corporation agent servants intent to commit fraud is self-evidenced by the very existence, registration, hospital, etc. at all, offices, trading in birth certificates, slavery, and must be done only on an individual choice basis. To make this fraud known to any all Crown agents, or remain a knowingly fraudulent by nature of the legal name constructed reality, willing participant. Any all legal name fraud parties do not have the right to denounce the treaty unilaterally, i.e. on behalf of everyone involved. Where a non-legal individual can, to expose, and which exposes this fraud for all humanity to all legal proceedings. It is a legal fact in the legal reality of fictional existence that it is illegal of anyone, everyone outside of the bar card, in which one must already be in a fraud to enter law school, use fraudulent legal name to begin with. It's one example of fraud on fraud regardless. A sworn oath using a fraudulent with permissions granted only to titles attached to a legal name, likewise to serve the owners operators of the fictional Crown Corporation by willful and knowing, unknowing, omission, commission of fraud, absolute. Consent to be, act as, lay claim to, act in the role of, etc. at all. A legal name, legal entity, legal character as it appears in any all books of the registrar, registration, registry. Registry equals dead crown family is entity tree, whereby any all legal name, designations, ranks, corporations, etc. at all are in fact property of the Crown Corporation and use thereof without clear and explicitly present permissions by the legal owner or representative thereof, by and for said such owner of all such said legal creation, is illegal in every way, rendering such users in a state of instant dishonor in the eyes, yeses, of the courts. A fraudulent felon, criminal, regardless of the nature of any all accusations made by any all Crown Court representatives, bar card, sworn oath or not, since they are in the commission of a fraudulent act, i.e. CAFR accounts, bonds, etc. Here in this doctrine, it is spelled out for the reader, receiver clearly. Their lack of understanding this doctrine renders them incompetent. Thus, everything they take is a mistake. Ab initio, where fraud is the intent of legal name fraud ad infinitum. Obviously, a criminal mind heart is incapable of rational thought, where a reasonable being, insane, simply looks for every reason under the sun to escape their own responsibility. The illegality is not reality. Legal means, and their complicitness in these crimes against creation and truth, until they decide otherwise. Simply put, criminals, destroyers of humanity, destroyers of life. So, in short, it is illegal to use a legal name and references aforementioned, regardless of claims made contrary by any all legal agents. To the contrary, where legal agents is defined herein as anyone who uses any all legal definitions of who and what they think they are. A dead fictional character, no voice. Following this outline are only some examples of the total illegality of legal name fraud, where legal name, any all fictional legal entity formations, references non-living paper constructs exist nowhere in any living conscious form outside of the confines of a dead legal reality, where one must be expelled into existence, for it is to exist at all. It's a fictional character, reality that only exists in the minds of those who create such fictional characters. Be they any human, sentient, consciously aware, or any other inanimate, lifeless form, assumed, presumed as living mental quantum, it can only exist between two parties in order for them to exist at all. Whereas the original fundamental nature construct of the treaty, contract agreement, has been altered, changed, fraudulent, misleading intent by one or more contracting parties, where intent to commit fraud to deceive another acting as frauds, liars, thieves, etc. at all. Criminal evil intentions, hiding behind legal names, titles, are and is exposed by the very use of these legalities, not reality, fictional constructs that renders any all users of such things a felon criminal by deliberately deceptive design, where I, the living, in creation am not, nor will I be assumed and or presumed henceforth and forever a dead legal name, tittle, identity, ad infinitum, ab initio, non pro tem. One legal name, title, construct, party claiming any all legal name is third party interloping in on the birth certificate contract between Crown agent and male-female awards of admiralty, where the legally claimed child, i.e. the current legal name, identity, user, third party interloper, unknowingly, was not present at the signing of said birth certificate contract, nor were any details of this intent to commit fraud disclosure given to contracting parties. All participants were a child or children are involved. In short, the one using the legal name wasn't there at the sinning of the contract, guilty of the original sin of by the father. No one not contracting with a minor and students custody the categories to legal name title participant immediately guilty. Within the construct of the legal and reality, copyright where the Crown does not prosecute. Meaning does not deliberately for the only purpose of the continuation of humanity's overall fraud, in accordance with the warnings placed in identical in conceptual intent, clause 30 of the Scantibus, and subsequent certificate aliases created by any all parties that use that birth certificate proof of intent to commit fraud by its very existence, to create any all forms of identification from it and or any all related forms rendering said user an immediate fraud for doing so, for any all creation of any all forms of legal identification, any all legal definitions, where this legal name fraud deemed mandatory by for in the legal fictional reality construct agents, practitioners thereof, where force, words, deceptions, threats, thefts, blackmail, etc., and all is used to knowingly, unknowingly, by, for, in omission, commission to enslave any all humanity, partaking in this, the, any all legal realms of fictional delusions, where the legal system demands humanity commit fraud in order to survive. One is presently was formerly using any all such said legal identification. For the final nature of the birth certificate is to create fraudulent parties on both sides of the contract. In short, alleged to kill, steal, cheat, etc. at all. Any all individuals as its primary intent. Clause Rebus Sextantibus is invoked and written. 3. It is illegal to aid and abet anyone knowingly, unknowingly, that is fully aware of the legal names, fraud, deception, into a criminal activity, against their wishes, by forcefully, in any all ways, includes trickery, violent actions, threats thereof, to comply with fraud, means of wording, deceptions, etc. at all, being assumed or presumed, that legal named entity, where following orders by any all crown agents assume presumed authority, based on deceptive, violent means and measures to gain such fictional jurisdiction and control over another, and by any all means of deception were intent to deceive another is self-evident by the very nature of the legal names fraud, original intent, by design, by one who is titles or uniform, in the all legal and reality definitions, where their role to act in the character of many all crown agents for the purpose of legal deception, aka commissions, as the basis of their jobs, roles, namely a uniformed officer, rogue, judge, etc., as all wears the emperor's clothes removed, their intent to do so, i.e. the very clothes, uniforms, robes, chains of office, etc. at all, where to don't any all robes, legal garments of the legal reality deems crown agents easily visible and absolutely transparent, for by in the intent to commit fraud, aid and abet fraud in the back Clause Rebus Extantibus is invoked, spoke, written. 4. Profiting from criminal activity, employment, shares, profits, investments, sales, any all means of procuring legal fiat currencies, etc. Inasmuch as any all commerce based totally and utterly, utters of life, humanity's milk and honey, on the legal name title fraud construct, from the creation of fiat currencies based on the valuations of the slave trading bonds, UCC, UPU, also known as Corporation of the City of London, State Corporation of Vatican City, that the birth certificate is and intended to be for just such a purpose, to involve every form of money made, be it through peaceful and or criminal activities, from being paid to deliver newspapers, to being paid to legally murder another human being under the legal umbrella of war, military, where murder in any form is murder, and any all associations to, by, or of, in any all legal name titles, forms, renders one guilty by an association. Absolute, inasmuch as one is still mentally, physically, spiritually bound to legal reality, unreality, deal with the devil, Satan, by agreement to be so involved in this criminal activity. And don't associate with murderers, idol worshipping, idol worshipping at any all levels. Nor will I be presumed otherwise, illegal name fraud, associations, assumptions, presumptions, and the legal sorcery practitioners therein. Clause Rebus Sextantibus is invoked, spoken, written. 5. Any all individuals that use, claim to be, actively participated of by, for the legal names, titles, in any way, all it's whatsoever, without explicit permission by the delusional legal masters, also known as bar crown agents, sworn oath members, are practicing legal law, which is legal, not lawful, without a license, but are deemed to be practicing law, using legal conversating day living body where the legal name is a legal definition within the confines of the legal unreality reality, where lawyers are used to fill this gap in the illusion of legal representation that renders any all who do so silenced, without voice, and are invoiced accordingly as a war of admiralty, or essentially as child of the dead corporate, body consumed, phonetically, safe, until such guilt by legal name association is removed by the one being deemed to practice law sorcery literally, and not using a lawyer to keep the court in order, where now contempt of court is enacted upon any all who enter a court of man's law, which places the crown agents, court officials, in peril to dishonor, where only the confession of the one entering, thinking they actually need to be there at all, to be a legal name, or tricked into claiming anything that resembles, in part and or in full, anything that combines them the birth certificate contract spelling, as they appear on that birth certificate that will ultimately render the user as a felon fraud first, thus restoring destroying the illusion of honor in their court, where the ruse perpetuated it on. Clause service acceptibus is invoked, spoken, written. So these are just a few of the examples that anyone with any sense of legal wrongdoing can see to illustrate clearly the absolute fraud in the entire legal system. And the basis of the fraud against humanity is based on where the legal name, title, claims are the cornerstone that holds the entire pyramid construct, with the criminals, legal sorcerers atop the pyramid, delusional and illusional power. What any old cops, judges, lawyers, common people, so a basic understanding of what fraud is. For fraud is clearly defined as the Ten Commandments motif. Fraud, entire legal reality, includes, unlimited to, murders, stealing, raping, adultering, greed, lust, covetousness, false idol creating and worship, and all manner of evil intentions, where only the veil of a papered reality protects the evil with knowing intentions. And now you know, your ignorance is removed here, man, where it is not. It's incumbent with every individual to prove otherwise. So, essence, maximus invoked. Clause rebus sextantibus is invoked, spoken, written. Inasmuch as the Vatican, corporation of Vatican City State, is commonly understood, it's also complicit in this legal name, title, reality by virtue of legal registration. All spiritual notions of power are hereby nullified ab initio ad infinitum, where Vatican City is registered as ordinators, etc., as all, as registered crown-owned corporations, and are neutered by association accordingly, where any all assumed presumed power is fully and completely destroyed by, of, and for this legal name, title, complicit agreement, treaty fraud, and is therefore complicit in this fraud against all of humanity and life itself, as are all claiming any all legal status and any all legal forms ab initio ad infinitum, pro tunc pro nunc. There are countless essays and radio programs by the non-legal entity Cato Gaia Cavi. For further clarification, including on-air confession made by police and lawyers, attesting to the truth of this and their inability to claim otherwise, trapped in the belief circular trap of their own construction. Any all blacks, anyone professing to be in of or by any all legal name, title is fraud. Attempt to aid and abet fraud, where it is illegal to use, be claimed thick when it's legally defined anything. You're served. Now, the case over in the state is hard. The legal cronus, commerce, crown, lost all games where all law was and is church-based court, simply a synonym for church. And the living true law was replaced with false dead legal, and all rogue practitioners, whether court or church, serve the same dead legal God, and are rendered soul dead accordingly in the eyes of creation. Your souls are on the line, lean line, and only you can clear your debt. No Savior's coming to save you, but rather to condemn you for all of your willful crimes, now knowingly being committed by the mere virtue of having received this, having read it or not.
All right, now, for those intending to use this birth certificate fraud clause or rebus sextantibus, also known as BCCRSS document, use it exactly as it is. Do not send, write, ink anywhere on this document. This way you are putting Kate between you and the system. All right. Well, that pretty much wrapped it up for me right here today. I thank everybody for their time and attention. And that is another We Tell in This Hell, the real. Salute.